So Kev, obviously it was a tough result to take last weekend. How did you go about trying to put that one to bed and trying to put things right this week?
Yeah, I think you always watch the game back and reflect on it and analyse it and see what we could have done better, what we did well. I think it's always, when you watch it back in the cold light of day, you go probably not as bad as you thought in terms of certain bits of the game. Others obviously got to get better at, we know that. Likewise when you win, you might not be as good as you think. Deal with, as we normally do in terms of reflecting on games and putting it to bed and work hard this week.
Yeah, everyone in the group cares, of course. I'm sure that's a given, isn't it? But was there some that maybe needed lifting on Monday, or does that come from within the players themselves sometimes as well?
No, I think it's from within. Of course, they're a good group. They love training, love working hard. So listen, you've got to put it to bed and move on, reflect on it, work on what you need to work on, get back to the basics of what you're good at, and prepare properly.
Yeah, and looking to try and turn things around and get a positive result this weekend against Rovers then.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, tough one, we know. Top of the league for a reason, and very well organised, very well coached, very well. A lot of good players, obviously, and that's the main thing. And they another test, a different one to what we faced, and one that we've got to be up for.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, team top of the league. Can you take any encouragement from games that we've had in the past against teams that we've had against top of the league? Or does that not really count?
No, it's different. It's different. I think we're at home, and we always want to win our home games as much as we can. And I don't think games in past reflect to, and every team's different. Every team has a different approach. So no, we'll be ready for it.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest budgets in the league that they've got, and obviously a returning player as well who can afford to sort of sit on the bench sometimes. But up against a very strong team in all areas, aren't they? They've got threats from across the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. Signed ever so well, recruited ever so well. We know obviously with cards. So they're strong right across the board. Different threats from different areas, and obviously ones that we'll look at and hopefully be ready for.
Thank you.
Kevin, obviously a tough results last weekend. When you regrouped players, regathered them this week, what was the first thing you said?
No, listen, I think that always stays in house. The meetings are well measured. What we've done well, what we can do better, of course, and whatever we stay in house, it stays in house, of course.
I mean, was it sort of like reflective? Do you sort of put that result, as you say, put it to bed, or were you sort of taking things from that to build on and move into?
Yeah, a lot of stuff in terms of tactical and bits and pieces we've looked at, but there's certain bits you can't. You've got to deal with in the game, and that's something that's will affect results, of course. But we analyse every game. We analyse every opponent we go into. We do the same for every game, and that's no different. Likewise, when we win a game, when we win games, we look at that as well and have the same processes that we need to hopefully get better.
Just on the team news side of things, how was Joe Gobbins, Danny Waldron doing?
Yeah, good. Danny's trained. Joe's still with the physio department. He's been doing some straight line running. So hopefully he'll push on.
Something that our commentator Glenn Pennyfather said in commentary last weekend, just felt the players didn't have the fire in the belly. Something you touched on as well post match. Obviously, I know it's something that.
Well, no, I don't agree with that. No.
I'm saying they do have it, but as a coach, how do you keep that ignited week on week?
I don't agree with them not having fire in their belly for a start. Did they have fire in their belly when we're down to 10 men? For 70 minutes last week, yeah, they did. Charlton, did they have fire in their belly? Sometimes things go against you, and I think it was our reaction to that can be better, and that happens on the pitch.
You've got obviously the league leaders. We touched on it there with Forest Green Rovers coming lots of areas on the pitch. How do you combat that in terms of what the sort of danger areas might be on the pitch?
Like every game we go into, every team's got different threats. It's you managing, what we do well compared to what opposition do well, and I think every team will do similar stuff to us. There's no doubt about that. But we'll look at their strengths and hopefully their weaknesses as well, and deal with their strengths and hopefully exploit weaknesses. But the teams invariably at the top of the league are probably less weaknesses than most. So yeah, a tough game that we've got to get basics right. We can't give up chances like we did, which is obvious. We're looking pretty prepared.
It's great to see that the North Stand will be opened up to home fans as well. How important will that home crowd be this weekend?
Always, yeah. And they've, you look at what happened at Charlton, the atmosphere there. It's up to us to give them stuff to cheer as well, and like vice versa on the other side, when the players need their help, they'll be there for them like they always are. The fans, they travel incredible numbers, very good at home as well. So yeah, it's huge for us. And as we keep improving, the North Bank is good. I'm delighted it's back to the fans that have been there so often in the past, and we get to have that again.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.
Harry Cardwell back on Saturday. How much of a blow was it to but seeing him back, and how much of a blow was it to lose him early on in the season? Of
course. It was. I think the timing couldn't have been worse in terms of you lost an 18-goal striker, and that's without penalties last year. And someone that since he came into the building with us, worked with us, knew the job. So that's very, very difficult to replace, and especially that time of the season. Not just how he was on the pitch, but off the pitch. A brilliant, brilliant character, and someone loved working with. It'd be good to see him again.
On bench, hopefully. And Joe Gubbins, is there a time limit on him yet? Do you know?
No, we're going with literally how it feels a little bit. There's a process in terms of what the length looks like. He started to feel well, so we pushed him on a bit. So it's just keep moving him on and seeing how he reacts to each stage of the recovery, if you want.